Drivetime Radio with New York Vinnie.
On this week's edition of Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week? What about the show?
Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week?
Have a little fun. It is a fun day here out at
You're listening to Drivetime Radio.
Remember, just plug in. I'm ready.
And I'm about as ready as I'm going to be this morning. Welcome to another edition of Drivetime Radio. New York Vinnie with you here on a Saturday morning, just a little after 11 o'clock. Very good morning to you as we get ourselves ready to get another weekend kicked off here on Saturday morning. And we get together like we usually do. I know a lot of you people are out. A lot of my friends are out there at cars and coffees all over the place, especially my friends in Shoreline. I want to say good morning to them this morning. And hope everybody's having a good time out there. If you're one of the people who participate on a Saturday or a Sunday morning in cars and coffee, it's a great way to meet people. I always talk to you about that on Saturday morning because it really is a way to, if you're into cars, getting to meet people, getting to know a little bit more about your car, about the automotive business, about just the fun, the joy of being into cars. Whichever way you decide to partake, cars and coffee is always a good way to go. I know my friends at Shoreline Cars and Coffee do it in back of the Aurora Borealis restaurant and casino over there on Aurora Avenue. They start, I think, at 8 o'clock and go till 10, but they may go from 9 till 11. I think but I would say pretty much that if you get there at 8:30, you're going to see some nice cars. And you stay till 10, you're really going to see some nice cars because for my money, it's the best one. The gentleman that puts that event on every week, he's been doing it for years, rain or shine, he's got it going. So if you want, get your car, take the kids, grab the kids, the wife, the checkbook and everything, go down there and tell them Vinny sent you and have a good time. Get your kids into the hobby. You know, it's an interesting week. It's one of those weeks where the car manufacturers have some stuff going on, but not a lot. You know, I think the biggest thing in cars right now is everybody is waiting for the slate. And news from Slate this past week that if you're in California, the $24,985 price that they are talking about is going to be even less for you because the state of California still gives rebates on electric vehicles. President Slapdick has decided that he's not going to give you a rebate, but Governor Newsom in California and the people down there says, well, we'll give you a rebate if you buy an electric vehicle here in California. We do the same thing up here in Washington. I believe Oregon does. And it's proven to be invaluable for people that say, you know what, not a bad idea to go electric right now with the price of gas going up. And the price of gas going to go up even more as this conflict in Iran grows even more. I know that we had traditionally over the past few months started off the show with gas prices. Suffice it to say right now that they're headed in no direction but up. We just got word before we went on. Matter of fact, I was reading this story as we were coming on the air that unfortunately there were two American servicemen killed this morning. I believe it was in Jordan, but by some kind of Iranian strike force. Details are sketchy, but it's not looking good if you have to rely on gasoline to get where you're going right now. And first of all, your heart goes out to these people who've lost their lives, their families, their I mean, just the whole country right now is thinking about these people and hoping that if somehow that we can get out of this, get away from this, without losing any more of our young people. You know, it's pretty horrendous because Fat Man Trump and his people don't go out there to fight the wars. It's these young kids that have to go out there. Our sons, our daughters, our grandsons, our granddaughters. Those are the people that have to go out and fight the war, once again, for oil. When there's no good reason for it, because we have an alternative energy in this country. It's called electricity. But I'm not going to go off on a political soapbox this morning. You didn't tune in here to see that, but I did want to mention that because when I see that and I realize that this is nothing but such a waste of life. So I pray for those people. I hope you'll find a little bit of time to say a prayer for those service people that lost their lives today in the Middle East. Part of the whole thing that's going on with the war and this and that is that we seem to be, as a country, getting a little less tolerant of each other, a little meaner to each other. And I've seen that now manifested a couple of times, believe it or not, but actually, if you do take the ferry this time of year, you probably will believe it because you've probably seen this happen. Now, a couple of times since July 4th that I've seen somebody or talked to somebody about the ferry lines. And the people who decide, the motorists that decide that it's a good idea, that I'm a little better than everybody else, so I'm going to cut the line. I don't have to wait on a line like everybody else for 2 hours. I'll just mosey on up. Yeah, when nobody's looking, except for the cameras and everything, everybody else is just sitting on that line. I'll cut into the line. Nobody will ever notice me. Well, it happened again, I guess, yesterday on the Vashon Island. Vashon Island is having their strawberry. Is it strawberry? Yeah, strawberry festival this weekend. It's kind of crazy if you're going over there. You want to try to get on the ferry. My God, it's a mess. But somebody decided that has a food truck that was supposed to get over to the island. I'm not going to mention the name of the food truck, but the person driving the food truck decided that their hang on a second. Their getting over to the island was more important than anybody that was waiting online. So they decided that they would just cut the line and get through. And they cut the line, and they were driving a big truck. So they got into the line. No consideration for the people that were behind them in the line. except that they have to be the stupidest freaking people in the world, because when you are driving a big truck with the name of your whatever it is, taco or fish or whatever it is that you're selling out of your truck, people are going to know who you are, and people are going to see who you are. People are going to take pictures of who you are. And when you get to your destination, the people that you cut to in front of the ferry on a small, Vashon is a small town. They're going to remember who you are. So whoever is driving this food truck that cut in front of all those people yesterday on the way to Vashon did not do themselves any favors, and are really in a whole world of hurt because people are just really nasty about it. Now, there's one person that said, well, I went up and I talked to the people and they don't speak English too well. So I guess you can kind of look at this thing a couple of different ways. You don't speak English too well. You didn't understand what you were doing. You made a mistake. You won't do it again. And you could accept that and go on your merry way. And that's it. That's all, right? You're done. See ya. But the vitriol from some people, one guy on Facebook, of course, it's social media, so people tend to, on social media, say things that they would never say to somebody's face. But one guy advocated that go slash their tires. And there was like 10 people. Yeah, that's what we ought to do. We ought to go slash their tires. Now, I understand that you're upset that somebody cut into the line. I wouldn't like it if I was waiting there 2 hours to get on the ferry and somebody with a big-ass truck cut in front of me either. I wouldn't like it at all. But I don't think I would advocate mob violence because that happened. I don't think I would be somebody who would say, let's get knives and sharp objects and go, why not just light torches and burn crosses and go after them? I mean, aren't we getting a little out of hand? I mean, so this guy cut in front of you in line, so you're going to go down there and you're going to slash his tires? And I can understand one idiot, because there's an idiot in every crowd that'll say something like that. But what I don't understand is the 10 people that say, yeah, all right, let's do that. Instead of saying, you're what are you, stupid? You don't do that. That's not the way you respond to somebody who cut in front of you in a line. But there's enough people who think that that's a good idea. Cutting in line in the ferry, from what I understand, can result in a fine. So do yourself a favor. If you see somebody do that, report it to the authorities, to the ferry window or whatever, the person at the ferry thing. And if they can, they'll call a state patrol. And hopefully they'll have the guy at least thrown off the ferry and maybe arrested. I would have to think that that's a similar crime to jumping a turnstile on the subway in New York. Although you are paying, I guess once you get up there, you are paying for the service, but still. On the realm of crimes, it's more of an inconvenience than it is a crime. But I don't think it rises to the level of gathering some people together and slashing their tires or dragging them out of their truck and beating them up. Use your head, folks. I mean, think about it. Before you write something on social media like that, think about it. Because there is somebody that is stupid enough to see that in this day and age and walk up to the people that are in the truck, and because they don't speak English as well as you or I do, slash their tires or worse. You know, got a lot of crackpots in this world with guns, and it's not a far stretch of the imagination to think that somebody who's pissed off because these people who don't speak English that well cut the line and is going to go down and show them, these foreigners, what America is all about, and start pumping shots into their truck. So use your heads. Use your brains a little bit when you're writing stuff, and when you're I mean, again, was the crime so egregious? Well, I guess if you're waiting in line for 2 hours, it is, but it doesn't rise to the I think, to having to slit somebody's tires or beat them up or hit them with a baseball bat or do any of the kind of stupid stuff that people suggested on this post on Facebook this morning. So the price of gas is going up again. It's headed in the right direction, I guess, if you're the oil companies, because they're certainly reaping record profits this summer, and will be. If you own stock in an oil company, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. If you have to buy a gallon of gas to get anywhere, to get to work, if you have to buy anything that comes by truck, by diesel, it's brought by a conveyance of diesel fuel, you're screwed. And you're going to be screwed for a while, it looks like. Because the Strait of Hormuz is not going to straighten itself out, no pun intended, anytime soon. So that's, and for all of those people who drive performance cars and drive cars that suck up a little bit more gas than the regular car, that don't get the Prius-esque 50-something miles a gallon, you're probably going to wind up using your car less this summer. Leaving it in the garage. Because to fill up a tank in your car is going to be north of $70 or $80. I mean, if you're shining a ride like an electric deuce and a quarter with a 20-gallon gas tank, as they had in the 60s. They had them Dragunda gas tanks. And so, 20 times, 560, 550. It's quite a sum to fill up your gas tank, and then you only get 10 miles to the gallon. So either way you cut it up, you're kind of screwed. So all I can say to you is make sure that you have the right amount of air in your tires. Make sure that your air filter is clean, that your gas filter is clean, that you give yourself a chance to get the optimum mileage from your car. If you're going on the road, check these things. Costs you $110 to fill up an electric deuce and a quarter at $5.50 a gallon. If you're using it, and you got to use premium in those cars, so it's probably more than $5.50 a gallon. But I'm going to go with $5.50 a gallon. It's going to cost you $110 to fill that car up. I predict a lot of electric deuce and a quarters and similar cars with those 16, 18, 20-gallon gas tanks are going to be sitting idle in the garage for the foreseeable future. And maybe people will take them out once on a Friday night or a Saturday night. But the long road trip is going to become a thing of the past for a while until they get this all sorted out. What else is going on? A few other different things. By the way, we are sponsored by my good friend George Jackson. George Jackson is a man who has sponsored this show for a long time, and he is the guy that you want to see if you need business specialties, promotional items. What do I mean by that, you ask? Calendars, T-shirts for your golf tournament or your business, jackets for your golf tournaments, golf towels, items that you find in goodie bags, items that you give to customers as premiums when they buy something. Anything along those lines that are items that make your business, help your business stay top of mind in people's minds, the awareness of your business when they need to go and buy something that aligns up with your business. Now, you get somebody from Facebook, they're going to tell you, oh, no, the best way to advertise is to put it on Facebook or put it on YouTube. Well, I'm going to tell you that those advertisers are getting annoying. When you are watching a music video and all of a sudden it drops out and Bill's tree service comes on and sits there and tell you how he can trim your trees better than anybody else. Number one, you think he's lying to you. Number two, you get pissed off because the YouTube decided to put him in the middle of your of the song that you were enjoying. So you turn around, you say, well, I don't need to see this. And you get mad. But if you give somebody a calendar and they stick that calendar up on their wall and it says Bill's Tree Service, and they're walking in the kitchen, you know, that tree out in the backyard, that needs to get trimmed. What's the name of that guy? Oh, he gave me that nice calendar. It's clicked to the side of my refrigerator. And you look at it and you pick up the phone, you call Bill and you say, Bill, come over and take a look at my tree. Tell me how much it's going to be to trim it. No fuss, no muss. Bill shows up with the saw. He quotes you a price. Does the work. And then he asks you, is your calendar okay or do you need another one? And you say, oh, no, you know what? Mine is okay because we're only in July, but do me a favor. Make sure I'm on the list for you to send me one next year. And you call George Jackson and you say, George, it's July, but I want to give you the order now to get my my order for my calendars in so that on December 1st, the 2027 calendar is here, and I can start sending them out to customers. GJpromo.com is the way you can find them on the internet. Facebook, GJ Promo, and all of the social media channels. George is on there, and he's a person. You don't get an AI agent or something like that. You get George. You send him an email or you dial up his phone number and you want a price quote on something, you get George. And George says, oh, wait a minute, let me look that up. And he looks it up and he says, okay, I can deliver 200 of those T-shirts to you next Tuesday for boom. And I'll tell you something about George. Next Tuesday, the T-shirts are there. If he can't get them for you, he'll tell you. If they're going to be late, he'll tell you. That's why I do business with George for promotional items, but he's also a friend of mine. He's a good guy. He's part of the Coffee Tree Table of Knowledge. Mount Lebanon's finest. Don't forget that. All right, what else do we got for you here this morning? Well, I know what. I did something yesterday that so many people have told me not to do. But yet, being a good Italian guy like I am, I bought a Fiat. Now, I'll tell you more about this in the weeks to come. But I just want to say, I used Facebook Marketplace, and I got on there and I found this car there. It almost was destined that the car was to be mine. But I found this nice Fiat, little, the 500 Perla Neri, we're calling it, black pearl. Black on black, black leather interior. Beautiful car. But what was more important than the beautiful car I got was the people I met when I bought the car. Again, I'm a guy that believes in relationships with people to keep them good, to keep them honest. And when I showed up and I met these people yesterday, it was just a great experience all the way around. So the upshot of it is as of Monday, I'll be a Fiat owner. So if I do the show in Italian next week, you'll know what happened. But I'm proud to own a Fiat. I can only imagine. So many friends have said, "Oh, the trouble you're in for." I look trouble in the eye and spit at it. Trouble. All right. One of the great things I was able to do yesterday was get in this car that I've been driving or have looked at, and give it a spin in my usual course of events of driving road testing cars each week. It was nice to I've been waiting to drive this thing for a while, and it came through for me this week. So without any further ado, here is this week's okay, we got to get this pumped up. Here you go. There we go. It is the Audi Q3. What a nice ride. It's the 2026 Audi Q3. This is an entry-level SUV. It's a mini-me Audi. You think of Audi, you think of luxury, and you think of a larger SUV. Well, this is what they call an entry-level luxury SUV. It's small. It is a very, very technologically advanced vehicle. I mean, I know the first thing that you notice is the color of this thing, which is just a stunning blue. I wish my eyes were this color. But it really is a stunning looker. I mean, as you look at this car and you go over the lines, it's a car that a guy named Robert Comerford, who used to be the automotive design critic for Automobile Magazine many years ago, would look at this car and say that this is a winner. This is a sharp-looking car. From the front lights that you see with the bright headlights, fog lights, to the rear lights that are digital, that are, is it QLED? I mean, it's the same stuff, same technology as the television set. The S line, which is the sporting line, is the only one available right now for this Audi. You will see this thing in the dark of night. Audi has made sure that you will see this thing in the dark of night. Inside, very roomy, comfortable seats. I will get on Audi's case for the money that you're going to spend for this car, $50,000 plus, that doesn't have ventilated and cooled seats. Or at least I couldn't figure out how to turn them on if it does have them. But I only had I only had the car a day, so I'm going to play with it some more. There might even be massaging seats in this thing, I don't know. But the interior is luxuriously done. The Audi designers have gotten in here, and they've really looked at the little things in an interior that make you smile when you drive a car. From the door handles to the way they're designed to this Google Maps in the dashboard that gives you a solid look at where you're going and points you in the right direction, to the dashboard that contains all the information you could ever possibly want to know in a vehicle. That was me when that dashboard lit up. I was like, whoa, what is this? But again, all of these little things in this car make it look beautiful, and it also helps with your driving experience. And the driving experience of this car is far beyond what its price tag says. The full panoramic sunroof that opens up, the comfortable seating, the Sonos sound system in here, the way that the Audi people have put the materials in this car to make you feel like you are riding in a vehicle that is worth much more money than the 50 something thousand, low 50,000 price tag. When you couple that with all of the technology in the car, you really have come up with something here. The engine, a 255 horsepower turbocharged engine, quattro all-wheel drive. The engine in this car gives you the Audi power, the quattro system, which will take you through snow, through rain, you name it, and this thing will get you through it. About 5.5 seconds from 0 to 60. But also, when you slip it into sport, when you slip it into the mode that says, let's balance out the power with a beautiful suspension that gives you a nimble ride, but yet a comfortable ride. 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, the all-wheel drive on all models. It really hits all of the marks that you would want it to. It's a larger vehicle, a couple of inches longer. The materials in the vehicle are really nice. So you get the better ride, you get more power. It's no front. You're going to get the quattro no matter what, and you're going to get the tech. And there is tech all over the place in this particular car. And that's the one thing that when you drive this car, you're going to experience this. There's a learning curve there with this car. I'm going to take it on a nice long road trip today and see if I can learn as much as I can about it, because it does take a little bit of time to learn about it. But I do believe that, Car and Driver, U.S. News and World Report, all have glowing reviews of this thing. It's some people say this might be the best SUV that Audi puts out. I don't know. I like, I'm a fan of the Q8, the big ones, but as I got into this and I drove it around Thursday and Friday, I just was impressed with every time I hit a button, every time I tried to play with a control, it worked well. It did what I expected it to do, except for one little period on Thursday night where I think I was tired, to be honest with you. I just couldn't figure out how to get the speedometer to work. It's set up where the tachometer comes up in the middle. And to be honest with you, I don't use the tachometer in an automatic car. Maybe I don't use the tachometer in any car. I'm not power shifting it. I'm not race shifting it. I'm not trying to hit 5,500 RPM and then shift it. It's an automatic. It does that. It's funny though. I was looking at the stuff on the internet about this car, and somebody asked the question: is the Audi Q3 a chick car? I don't know. Is it a car that favors women more than men? I think whether you're a woman or a man, or you fall someplace in between, you're going to get three things with this Audi. You're going to get a smaller, more nimble car that is going to feel good in city traffic. You're going to get a more powerful car than you're used to from an Audi. This thing is quick and it's fun to drive. And you're going to get a premium feel. You're going to get a luxury car feel when you're driving it. And that's the difference between driving the Tiguan and driving the Q3. The Tiguan is an excellent car, and has excellent massaging seats. But the Audi beats it in luxury feel. It's a place where Volkswagen may not have caught up to Mazda yet in incorporating the luxury feel into a car. The feeling of when you get into a car, you feel like you paid more for the car than you actually did. That it's hitting above its weight, hitting above its average. And the Q3 does that. So we'll have a full report for you later in the week. Next week or in upcoming weeks, a full review of it. We're going to take it out on the Joe and put it through its paces and give you a full report back. But so far, so good with this car. Also, a good car for bigger guys like me who need to, you don't have to scramble and ramble and worm your way into this car as much as the older Audi. I think they raised the roof line in this thing or something. And I like the fact that Audi gives you a vehicle that they believe that a sunroof is supposed to open. Not every manufacturer thinks that anymore. Well, we'll just put a glass roof in there and it'll be okay. Well, I don't know if I'm in that category of people. I tend to think that you should probably, if you're going to put a glass panel in there, make it so it opens. All right. What else we got going on this morning? Lexus. There's going to be some changes coming up at Lexus as far as their product line. I don't have all the information on it yet. I thought I would today. But we will have it hopefully next week. So we'll have a lot more to say about Lexus next week. One of the things that's been really cool is, people have been hitting the road for summer vacations. And I'm one of those people that's planning a summer vacation on the road as well. I'm going to do it late in the summer. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be doing Route 66. It's something that I've said I wanted to do. It's something that I felt important. It's important for me to do it this year. So I think late this summer or early fall, we will be on the road. And hopefully we'll have a pretty nice vehicle to do our show from and to give our driving impressions going cross country. So really a great vehicle. Will be one that we take across country. I'm excited about the idea of taking that ride across country, of doing Route 66. One of the things that if you're going across country this year, you might want to be on the lookout for is the big boy. You know about the big boy? It's this huge train that's going across America in conjunction with the 250th anniversary. But people from all over the country are flocking, taking overnight trips to see this steam locomotive rambling down the tracks near their town. For many people, not even near the town. But big boy, a steam locomotive that when you look at it, you say, boy, we built something like that. And yes, we did. In the early 40s, we built a gaggle of these things. We needed a train that would carry extremely heavy war equipment from coast to coast to get it to where it needed to go. So they built these big boys, and they've now restored a bunch of them. And they're making trips across country. And you can see them. Google Big Boy, the locomotive. Take a look at this thing. And you'll see something that'll that'll really shock you. Sorry, I'm just I need to punch something up here real quick. There you go. So if you get a chance and you want to, you're taking a trip this summer, go to one of our beautiful national parks. Which is something I suggest everybody do. Look for Big Boy. It's making its cross country. It's making a way cross country. It's usually headquartered in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which isn't that far a ride from here. But as I said, it's out on the road right now. And it's something that the kids will never forget if they see it. And I guarantee you that you won't forget it if you see it as well. All right. The most popular cars, electric cars right now, aren't fully electric cars. I think we've spoken about this enough on the show. For you to know that plug-in hybrids, if somebody's going electric, that ability to have a car that if you forget to charge it will get you out of a jam, is extremely popular right now. When you look at the price of gasoline, it's gone up. It's gone up. And so Toyota is selling all the plug-in hybrids that they can build. And what once was a joke, I remember when the Prius first came out, how what a joke it was to people. It was the punchline to so many comedians' jokes. Oh, driving a Prius. Oh God. But I recently spent a week in the 2026 Prius Nightshade. And that car is no joke, my friends. With 40-something miles of electric power, which means if your average commute is 20 miles to get to work every day, and you can plug in at night, pull into your driveway and charge your, plug into an outlet, you can go all week without spending any money on gas. It's that good. Toyota knows how to build these cars. Other car companies are licensing their technology. That's how good Toyota is. There's no getting past it. Toyota is building the best hybrid cars right now of anybody. And I think we'll continue to do that. I'm a huge fan of the Prius plug-in hybrid. And I think that the only thing that this car really needs is two more motors in the back wheels. And I guess, and I guess if you're tall, you don't want to sit in the back seat. Maybe that's the other drawback in this thing. But I love the Prius. Got a chance to drive it a couple of weeks ago. So let's take a look at the Prius. This is again. Let's start this back here. But this is the 2026 Toyota Prius Nightshade. You can see that the exterior styling is spectacular. This is a looker. Anybody that saw this car stopped and looked at it. Now I know the yellow, certainly this mustardy yellow color was attractive to people. It seems to attract people. But look at this thing. It's got all the style that you would want out of any vehicle, never mind if it's a hybrid or not a hybrid, and it's quick. Now, to make it interesting, because they knew some people would complain, it has a spoiler in the rear, and it's got some sporty wheels with the blackout stuff. The side body upper stuff is not chrome, it's black. The front fascia is black, so it gives it a very stylish look, yellow and black. It's a Steeler fan's dream, this vehicle. There's the Rat and the Saint, by the way. They're always along for the ride. Interior-wise, very simple, very utilitarian dashboard. It gives you the facts, ma'am, nothing but the facts. They still have left buttons in there so that you can go to EV mode, so you can go to different modes that you have to, so that you can run the heater and run the air conditioning and do what you got to do without going through a screen. You can go through the screen if you want to, but as it says right there on the front and the back, the Prius, the hybrid reborn. And Toyota is right with this thing. This is the hybrid reimagined.
Remember, just plug in. I'm ready.
For 2026 and beyond. On one side, you have the electric. You can take it down to the PCC, and I love PCC because they let you charge your vehicle for free. So you could conceivably not ever have to pay for anything to drive this car. Between the warranty and everything, you could wind up with a vehicle that doesn't cost you anything. It's a dazzling car, inside and outside. And you know what is interesting? It's a fun car to drive. Toyota got it right with this car. I don't know how much time or what they did and spend. It's a fun car to drive. It's the steering is crisp. The vehicle, the steering is crisp. The vehicle does what it needs to do when you point it to it. And when you hit the gas pedal, of course it does have gas in it, it goes, it stops beautifully, it handles nicely. It has different modes, so if you need to drive it in the city, you need to drive it here, you need to drive it there, it accommodates all of that. It's comfortable to drive. The only drawback to this car that I found was getting into the car. Because of the low roof line, you have to wiggle your way into the car. If you're a bigger guy like me, you got to wiggle your way into the car. And that's never really a good thing. But you eventually do wiggle your way in. And the reward for the wiggling is that you get a fun car to drive. You get an economical car to drive. Once again, Toyota has come up with a winner. I mean, they have everything in their product line now is available in hybrid. And they're not fooling around. Everything that they've come up with in their hybrids, in their vehicles, hit all the marks in that they are, some of them are fun to drive. All of them are good to drive. All of them are vehicles that it seems never break down. Now, I know the trucks have had some problems with the engines, but for the most part, when you buy a Toyota, you're buying quality. It's the quality we used to see out of American cars in the 60s. Now, Toyota has had that quality for a long time. The warranties are good. The batteries don't fail. the cars are good. And this Prius gives you the added extra bonus of plugging it in and going 40 miles. So if you got a short commute into the city, you plug it in, you go your 20 miles into the city, you plug it in somewhere else, or you wait till you get home and you plug it in. And as I said, you may not have to pay for gas ever. It's really, I think, a car that is so suited for our modern lifestyle. The Prius has gone from being an appliance to being, I'm not going to call it a sports car, but I'll tell you what, when they came out with this new design a couple of years ago, I liked it enough to make it my car of the year. And it doesn't disappoint. This particular car I was driving, I think, is $47,000, $48,000. So it's pricey, not cheap. You can get them cheaper, less expensive. But if you're in the market, if you're not sure you want to dip your foot into the electric pool, this is a good way to go. That's the Toyota Prius, a wonderful effort from Toyota, and a car that I am sure that if you get it and drive it, you're going to love it. And that's what it's all about, right? Loving what you drive. All right. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate spending time with you on a Saturday morning. We hope to be out live next week somewhere. I'm working on something that hopefully will be down at maybe down at Cars and Coffee next week, down at Shoreline. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on X, follow us on Instagram for all the news of where we're going to be and how we're going to get there. And we hope to see you out there soon. I will see you Monday morning with Michael for Mikey and Vinnie. And I can only ask you to have a safe weekend, have a good weekend, be kind to each other. There's a war on. And be considerate. What else can I say? But we'll see you Monday if the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise. I'm New York Vinnie. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to George Jackson for sponsoring us. GJpromo.com is the place to go if you need things for your business to tell people who you are. Don't you forget it. That's my quick Joe McGraw. All right. See you Monday if the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.